Hey everyone, ETHBTC here. This is just a follow-up video. If you have watched my 3-day swing videos, I was basically just showing you when to get into altcoins and when I thought it would be a good time to actually start investing. And I showed you a downtrend based on a 3-day swing strategy that was very simple, very easy to learn, and it was for all skill sets. Now, I've always personally had a bias of Ethereum against the Bitcoin. This was the alt season indicator. Many people have said that it was Doge. Doge had a great pump as well, so who knows, it could be either. But for me, it's always been Ethereum against the Bitcoin. And I actually bought it down here in this demand area, as you can see, and I posted this on my Twitter as well, so you could see exactly where I've bought it. But if you hadn't bought it there, you're getting a second opportunity right now, because due to the 3-day swing pattern strategy that I showed you, all you do is you start buying when there's a higher low and a higher high. The higher high is the confirmation, and then that's when you start opening up alt exposure in all your other altcoins. So if I switch to a line chart here, you can actually see, and we've got the rhythm here. You know, you broke down here, you made a lower high and you broke down, and then here you made a higher high from this double bottom, broke it, and you went into bullish territory. And then here you broke down again and you went into bearish. So now we've actually got an interesting stage, and this is why I was saying in the previous video to be patient, because even though Ethereum is now on this move and creating a higher high, there's a lot of altcoins, which I will show you after, that's still in accumulation mode. So it's still a very good time to be picking up alts, and personally, that is what I've been doing. I've been accumulating loads of altcoins with a few good pumps in them. But as you can see right here, you had the bounce up, and then you had a higher low, and then we've actually broken it into a higher high. So that signaled to me now that Ethereum is in a bullish trend against the Bitcoin, and then therefore, so I'm happy to be buying alts, because alts for me personally generally move 2 and 2 together. It looks like you've been having like lower highs and lower lows there, but if you actually go onto the candle chart, you know, you printed this higher low here, it's never actually been broken. So theoretically you're not actually in a bearish trend, it's just a line chart. They only show they don't show the wicks of the candles basically, but the wick does count in a trend. So also looking aside from that, we had the rally from the low to the high, and then we had a pullback. And the golden area for me is always the 50% to the 61.8% retracement level. This is like the golden Fibonacci levels, and you see we peaked into it and we've taken a bounce, and now we've kind of got this little setup here where I'm kind of expecting a breakout, and we have very good volume compared to, look at all this volume here, and then we've had this volume from the low and it's starting to pick up now. So it's a good sign that, you know, Ethereum can be getting a reversal here against the Bitcoin, and therefore get some momentum on alts. Now, I'm not saying it's alt season, but you know, it's definitely a time if you're looking up to pick up some more Bitcoin. You see here these smaller rallies, and you know, some altcoins like to overpower Ethereum. You can get a much bigger percentage gain in a lot of these coins. So that was the 3-day charts. If I switch down to the daily, you can also see this pattern as well. You know, a breakout here should really get some momentum going, and you should start looking into this area around here at 40348. But some altcoins I've been looking into and been getting into, I posted all these on my Twitter, so if you're not following on Twitter, I'm guessing that if you are watching this video, it is due to finding the link on my Twitter anyway. But ETHBTC, and these are the coins you start want to look for. You have these accumulation zones, you know, you can see some volume coming in after just a horrible downtrend, and it's not really breaking down no further than this. So it seems like, you know, people are trying to pick up some coins, so you start getting some random pumps. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of random pumps, and some of them, even if you go into the lower time frame, you'd possibly be thinking, where the fuck did that come from? Because there was no actual real setup. It's just a pump out of nowhere. The best way to do this, and especially you haven't got that much time in your hands, you know, you've got a full-time job, you've got a family, whatever, look for coins like this that are accumulating, and trust me, just wait, set your stop, and then one day you probably click on your delta or blockfolio or alert, and you'll see it pump. So you can see Lend here, this was posted on my Twitter, it's broken now the accumulation range consolidation. You had a couple of days sideways, and now it's pushing up again, so we expect a further push from this one. you know, WAN had this little triangular formation after coming down. It wasn't as clean, but we've got a breakout. Not my favourite, but it's still preferred. I do have a position A and B. You know, once again, you can see all these accumulation ranges that start something and start a random big pump. The longer the consolidation, usually the bigger the pump. But you can see this tight range, depending on how small I make the scale. Look, I can make it a really tiny tight range there. It looks great. But if we actually open it up, you can see all this pattern and this downtrend was horrible. Normally you don't really get accumulation. You get a bit distribution here and it just cracks down. But here you're just really consolidating sideways. And this is giving enough steam people to actually come across this coin and pick it up and buy it, and then in the end you're just going to get some pump. So you have to mark out your resistance levels as well, just in case this is an alt season. You know, take your profits, get your profits off the table. Securing that Bitcoin is the main thing for you if you're looking to build your Bitcoin portfolio. If not, switch it straight into fiat currency, go do whatever you have to do, pay your bills, go on a holiday, I don't know, anything. But you can see this accumulation zone before on the previous pump that pumped 125%. And now you're kind of getting the same sort of dig here. There's two ways to play this. If you haven't been accumulating in this range, you know, possibly wait out for a breakout, I pull back into this zone here, and then re-enter. Encash, all the same sort of gig. You know, yeah, this accumulation zone, this one didn't work, this one actually broke down, but here you've got like a little test pump and you're back inside the range. The range is actually very, very tiny here. You know, you see 3 tests here on the low, 3 tests on the high, 2 tests on the low, and it's getting tight. And if you look at this volume, and you know, you're getting some really nice accumulation volume, you're riding this little trend line. This is the perfect entry right now if you're not really in, because you can just set a stop here if you're a bit loose below the range, and then just mark out your zones, keep to a game plan. It's so easy to make a game plan when you're looking at daily charts. You know, you've got all the time in the world to make sure you know where your exits are, your profits are, where you would add if you wanted to add. You know, if this broke out, retested onto this range, re-add. If it broke up past this little local high, retrace, buy. You know, settle your targets, have a game plan in mind. It's not too hard, and trust me, you'll have such a clear mind. And if you're a newer trader, you just wipe out all that emotion, don't get attached, and really start learning how to profit from these altcoins. Key is an absolute beauty. Been stuck in this range for a while, accumulating since early August. So what, we've been in a 2-month range now. Like I said, normally, typically, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout, because you know it's getting more and more steam. So places you can buy, look how tight that is. You could buy here and you could try setting a stop here, or you know, I've got more bids set down here for key, or like I said, when you break out and come down. But for me, I think once this breaks out, you're not going to get the opportunity to actually catch a retracement and pull back and bounce there. So you know, really work to your style, have it all figured out. Game plan is the most important thing. Sort also, all these posted onto my Twitter. Sort here, nice range. You see this massive volume breakout yesterday that's come back. It seems to be tracing right on this breakout level. So I'm going to keep an eye on that on lower time frames, maybe the 4 hour. You know, it's looking very nice. It's starting to round up. You see a little tiny volume spike there. This is a great ad spot to me. This is a great ad spot, and you can see these gains here. Look, you're seeing that. Well, we'll just round it up to 10 because my mind's not that great on maths. You know, 20s only here. That's 100% gain. It's not too far away. In the midst of things, in a 3-day chart there for you. AION. You know, you've got this range here, and you're at the kind of the bottom of the range. This is a good time to be accumulating. You can see this volume picking up. One thing to be wary of is Binance. This is fucking Binance. They love a bit of wash trading. Look at this. This is not legit. One single tiny int. So just be wary about this stuff. But nonetheless, the setup is at the bottom of the range. So it's a great place to buy. And I need to pick one more because I only get 10 minutes on this free fucking thing. We'll go for Loom. Loom, bit of a wider range, but you can see the same pattern. You know, the breakout of this level is going to start flying. Maybe buy a retest. Would not advise buying up here. You're at resistance. Crypto ACX, basically, I'm thinking it's a good time to be buying altcoins. on the 3-day model, Ethereum is making higher lows and higher highs.